Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Sunday, December 29, 2024. I wanted to come here and share this with you guys because I know that there's a lot happening this weekend, the last weekend of the year, but when I first heard about this story, it's so sickening, you guys, that there's a lot of people doing hidden things, hiding it behind Christianity, I guess you can say, thinking that the Lord is just not going to shake that up and expose it, even though the Bible says everything done in the dark will come to light. And I want to give you a trigger warning because it could be sensitive, the stuff. Obviously, it's very delicate. Everything that I'm going to share with you guys, well, I'll try to minimize it, but just last week, I believe it was, a couple was sentenced for abusing their adopted kids, okay? Intentionally doing this, right? Intentionally adopting kids just to abuse them. And this is how crazy this is. This is why you have to be so careful. And I always come and tell you this, you guys, that if you're gonna pretend to be this lively Christian person while doing evil things, dark things behind, at the back of others, and you think God is not gonna expose it, you're lying to yourself, okay? God is coming back for a pure church, and He's gonna expose everything. Like I said, it's in the Bible. This couple adopted kids, I believe, from a Christian adopting agency, and I'm sure everybody was so happy that they're helping. And every time I hear about kids that are being adopted, I always feel like, wow, that must be that must be so loving to see people saying, let's just say we're having a hard time having kids. Why don't we give a better life to somebody who cannot raise their own children, who give it to the agency so that they can find a new family? That to me is, I always think it's amazing. And I know not every case is this, right? Thanks be to God, because this is very crazy. This couple get married, adopted children just to abuse them. How crazy it is that you're gonna pretend to the world that you're doing something great. At the end of the day, you're actually doing something horrible, the complete opposite, the complete nightmare for these children. And you think God is just gonna leave you alone, like giving, lying to people, saying that how good of a Christian you are, sharing the gospel and doing crazy stuff behind closed doors? There's a lot of people out there who are very bullies, hiding behind, Bible verses. They're bullies inside their house. They're bullies inside their workplace, okay? They're so, oh yeah, I'm in the choir. Oh yeah, I teach Bible classes. I do the women's group and all of that. And when they're in their workplace, they're terrible people, okay? They're micromanagement. They dwell in being a bully. And then they do all these works thinking that God is going to overlook everything evil that they do. And it's so crazy that people believe their own lies. Let me read to you guys this article, okay? Let me get the iPad over here. I do apologize about the noise. But a Georgia couple that pleaded guilty in August to sexually abusing their two adopted sons will now spend 100 years in prison without the possibility of parole, according to the news. William Zulock pleaded guilty to 6 counts of aggravated abuse. I don't want to say exactly what it is. 3 counts of other type of abuse, 2 counts of incest it says here, and 2 counts of other type of exploitation of their children. His husband, Zachary Zulock, so it's William Zulock and Zachary Zulock, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of aggravated assault, also aggravated other type of assault, and 2 counts of incest. I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy the torture that these people did to these children. And I can only imagine the people, because people always, and I'm not blaming people that believe lies, but You have to go beyond the face that you see, I guess you can say. Behind the appearance. Everybody's like, oh, but look at them. They're so good people. They're always in charge, they're always in the gym. They're always doing great works. God never said, look at the works. He said, by the fruits you shall know them. And the reason that I emphasize that a lot, I do apologize if you hear any noise, is that the Antichrist is going to come and people are going to be so easily deceived, excuse me. People get so quick to believe the theater that is being put up on them. Do you understand that people put up a show so that you can fall through it and believe that they're good people? They're always like, oh, it's so available, so volunteering when there is an audience, right? They're always so nice and giving and loving and everything when there is an audience watching. You have to know them by their fruits. You have to hear what they're talking about. If they're constantly being negative regarding somebody, that's a red flag right there. Okay? You have to pay attention to things like this. And I can only imagine what I was saying is with this couple, right? The people are saying, you're doing such a great thing. Look at you guys adopting children. And these people, look what they were doing to their own children that they adopted to give them a better life. Probably bullying them into forcing them to do evil things, to take the innocence out of them by doing abuse and molestation and all of that. I mean, these people are going to be in jail for 100 years without the possibility of parole. That tells you everything. And that also tells you that everything that's done in the dark will come to light. And people should be, look at the year, guys. Look at the year that we had. People should be repenting and getting closer to the Lord and asking God for forgiveness. I'm not saying everybody, I'm not trying to point fingers. I think this year, everything that happened in my life, if anything, have brought me closer to the Lord. And thanks be to God for that. It's almost like my eyes are open. Everything that's happening, everything is being revealed. And thanks be to God for that. So when I say, we should be fasting, repenting, praying, and getting closer to the Lord, I'm speaking to myself too. It says here that those involved with the investigation and prosecution of this case will never forget what they had to see and hear in this case. The abuse that these parents did to the children not only affected the children permanently, it affected the people investigating them. Oh, this is crazy, you guys. So it says here that District Attorney Randy McKinley said in a Monday statement, these two defendants truly created a house of horrors, I can pronounce the R today, horrors, and put their extremely dark desires above everything else and everyone else. However, the depth of the defendant's depravity, which is as deep as it gets, is not greater than the resolve of those who fought for justice and strength of the victims in this case. McKinley said the revolve of the two young victims were the third and fourth grade at the time of the arrest. Over the last 2 years is truly inspiring. So the Zulocks, this couple, initially came under investigation after Georgia authorities received a cyber tip from the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children reporting suspected homemade abuse. And they started researching on them, I guess, right? After they received a tip. Authorities interviewed the Zulock on July 22nd of 2022, and they both admitted to abusing their adopted sons for a period of time. Investigators later collected electronic evidence, including surveillance cameras from inside the house, showing multiple instances of the defendants committing the abuse in different parts of the house. I mean, this is so crazy because when you see something like this, right? I told you guys before, a lot of the time people who abuse children is because they were also abused when they were kids. And it creates such a chain reaction, such a damaging chain reaction. It's crazy. and not trying to, kind of like approve their behavior by any means, nothing like that, but it tells you how dangerous it is. I mean, the people who investigated this case, they're going to be traumatized, it says, for years. Trying to present themselves to the world like, oh, they're such a good couple, doing great things in life, and they were actually adopting kids just to do something like this. I'm trying to see what else I can tell you guys. Let me just see here. Well, the detective said, the investigator says, I am grateful for the hard work of so many people to obtain an appropriate outcome in this case. The hard work of law enforcement put an end to the abuse suffered by the victims, and this resolution will help the victims continue the process of healing. William and Zachary Zulock will now spend 100 years without parole. This is all about guarantees that the victims will not have to worry after they grow older about their abusers being free. This is what I'm telling you guys about. People are lying to themselves. You really think that you're going to live this double life, wishing bad on people, doing evil things on people. People who desire evil for others, they never do it alone. So they create, they start putting things on people's mind. You're going to do all of that and then go to church and pretend that you're a good Christian and God is just going to let you be. Like, are you serious? Like, you throw that ball, one day it's going to roll right back at you. And, everything will be exposed. What's said in dark places is going to be brought to light. Everything will be exposed. Sometimes we see the Bible as a menu. We pick and choose, right? We pick and choose, and a lot of the times people justify their evil behavior. Probably, probably not in this case, but when they desire evil for others, it's usually based on envy and jealousy. Like I told you, envy and jealousy is a murderous spirit. It doesn't end, unless, the end result for somebody who's jealous of you or envious of you is just to disappear you completely. And when they hate, they never hate alone. They usually gather people, they start planting seeds on people's head. So I'm glad that these two are in jail, right? I pray for the healing of the two children that were abused by this. How crazy is that? I'm sure the agency who found this family, I guess you can say, for these children, were saying to them, you're going to be going to a great family, to probably a new country, right? Because a lot of adopted children come from overseas. You're going to, they're great people. They go to church, right? They always say, you're going to have a better life. And they were brought into this household to be abused. That's crazy. And God says, you cry into the Lord and He hears you. Like, that's the thing that people are like, people think that God is gonna go like, oh no, but they tithe, they go to church, they're always serving. I'm gonna ignore everything bad that they do. I'm gonna ignore everything bad. Like, God is the God of justice. And He hears the cries of His people. And everything that you're making somebody suffer for, God is hearing all of that. It's just a matter of time. So, but let me know what you guys think about this. Like I said, I'm so glad that these two got caught. I think in the past I came and spoke to you guys about them. I am so happy that they're now in jail for 100 years. Let me know what you think about these guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming back to my channel. Have a good day. God bless. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day everybody. God bless.